creepy looking.
All right. Hello, Corrales. We are back here live tonight on YouTube with our scary stories. Tonight I have Miss Melissa Bussey, who is our librarian, to tell some creepy stories. And I see we already have some folks are in tonight to see some creepy stories. I'll say hi to Darren and David McDaniel, and I know Gianna and Lucas are here. And hi to Lila and Nina Ward. I'm so glad that you made it tonight, and I hope you enjoy some scary stories. While we wait for some other folks to pop in, I'm going to tell some jokes along with Miss Melissa. Miss Melissa.
Yes?
Do you know why mummies never take the day off from work?
Oh, gosh. I don't know why mummies don't take the day off from work.
It's because they don't like to unwind.
Oh, that's a great one.
Do you know why the headless horseman went to business school?
No, I don't.
He went to business school because he wanted to get ahead.
Oh, he got ahead. Oh, that's a great one.
I see that Thomas and Max Carper are here tonight, and so are Aylin and Ennis. It's good to see those guys here. I'm so happy you all joined us. We still have some beautiful pumpkins up for auction at our school, and I'm going to announce the winners of the pumpkin contest, the pumpkin decorating contest, later on tonight. So you'll be able to know if you won a Best in Show. And Miss Melissa, it is 7:03, and I see we have several viewers already. Are you ready to tell your stories?
Absolutely.
Are they very scary?
They're very, very scary. I hope you have a friend or a blanket or someone to snuggle because you're going to be frightened. All right, friends, I'm so glad you're here. I have a few different things for you tonight. The first thing is Halloween Night, 21 Spectacular Poems by Charles Gingna, and the illustrations, Adam McCauley. Here we go. I'm going to start off with the funny, just because, right? Then we'll go to spooky. Sick or treat? I got a lot of treats tonight, and I just ate them all, from candy bars to bubble gum. My taste buds had a ball. But now my stomach's doing flips. Oh, what a Halloween. The biggest trick from all those treats. I'm slowly turning green. That's a funny one, just to kind of, get me started. All right, here's a scary. Are you ready? The biggest book you will ever see hides deep inside the library. It sits upon an antique stand, waiting for your trembling hand. Don't be afraid. Don't try to hide. Just open it and look inside. But watch out for those scary words that jump at you like frightened birds. Words like crawly, creepy crud that make your thumping heart go thud. Words like fear and Frankenstein that send cold shivers up your spine. Words like ghastly ghosts and ghoul that make your red hot blood run cool. Words like werewolf, warlock, witch that make your nerves begin to twitch. Words like scary screech and scream that give your nightmares when you dream. Beware that awful burning need to look inside and start to read. Because every word that's mean and scary is found inside the dictionary. The Scary Dictionary. All right, my friends, my first story for you tonight is The Spider and the Fly. This is based on a cautionary tale, which was a poem originally by Mary Howitt. Illustrations here in this beautiful Caldecott-winning book, Tony DiTerlizzi. The Spider and the Fly. Here, let me back up. you walk into my parlor? Said the spider to the fly. 'Tis the prettiest little parlor that ever you did spy. The way into my parlor is up a winding stair, and I have many curious things to show you when you are there. Oh, no, no, said the little fly, to ask me is in vain, for who goes up your winding stair can ne'er come down again. I'm sure you must be weary, dear, with soaring up so high. Will you rest upon my little bed? Said the spider to the fly. There are pretty curtains drawn around, the sheets are fine and thin, and if you like to rest a while, I'll snugly tuck you in. Oh, no, no, said the little fly, for I've often heard it said, they never, never wake again who sleep upon your bed. Said the cunning spider to the fly, dear friend, what can I do to prove the warm affection I've always felt for you? I have within my pantry good store of all that's nice. I'm sure you're very welcome. Will you please to take a slice? Oh, no, no, said the little fly, kind sir, that cannot be. I've heard what's in your pantry, and I do not wish to see. Sweet creature, said the spider, you're witty and you're wise. How handsome are your gauzy wings, how brilliant are your eyes. I have a little looking glass upon my parlor shelf. If you'd step in one moment, dear, you shall behold yourself. I thank you, gentle sir, she said, for what you're pleased to say. And hiding you good morning, and bidding you, good morning now, I'll call another day. The spider turned him round about and went into his den, for well he knew the silly fly would soon come back again. So he wove a subtle web in a little corner sly, and set his table ready to dine upon the fly. Then he came out to his door again, and merrily did sing, come hither, hither, pretty fly, with the pearl and silver wing. Your robes are green and purple, there's a crest upon your head. Your eyes are like the diamond bright, but mine are dull as lead. Alas, alas, how very soon this silly little fly, hearing his wily, flattering words, came slowly flitting by. With buzzing wings she hung aloft, then neat and nearer drew, thinking only of her brilliant eyes and green and purple hue, thinking only of her crested head, poor foolish thing at last. Up jumped the cunning spider and fiercely held her fast. He dragged her up his winding stair into his dismal den within his little parlor, but she ne'er came out again. And now, dear little children, you may this story read. To idle, silly, flattering words, I pray you ne'er give heed. Unto an evil counselor, close heart and ear and eye, and take a lesson from this tale of the spider and a fly. Rest in peace, my friend. Ooh. Oh, dear friends, beware of the spider and the fly, because what transpired here tonight Take heart, because you might find yourself trapped in some schemer's web. You can often find yourself trapped, so be careful, beware. Spiders are not the only hunters, and bugs are not the only. That one gave me a chill. Oh, dear friends, I have another scary, very scary poem for you tonight. Slumber party surprise. How many of you all gone on a slumber party? Oh, such fun. But if you dare. We sat around the living room and turned out every light, then started telling stories that would keep us up all night. We passed around a flashlight as we told our favorite tale. The room was filled with shadows and each face grew gray and pale. Then, after every ghostly yarn, we searched around the room to see if zombies hid within the dark and dreary gloom. We searched behind the sofa, and we checked beneath each chair to make sure nothing drifted in upon the midnight air. The longer that we stayed awake, the darker things became. Our flashlight faded in the night and closed our ghostly game. A chilling hush fell over us as right before our eyes appeared a most appalling sight that caught us by surprise. A shadow drifted down the stairs, appearing pale and calm, but when it shouted, "Go to bed!" I knew it was my mom. I love that one. Here's a funny. What to wear on Halloween? Last year, I went as Frankenstein. The year before, a ghost. This year, I'd like to go as what kids all fear the most. I've searched through stores all over town for one old scary ghoul, but none have masks that look just like our principal at school. I threw that one in there for you, Principal Liv. That's a great funny. All right. All right, you know I mean that with love. All right, friends, we have one final, very scary. You see, I just was warming you up. Tonight, our stories are scary stories for young foxes. Let me set it up. The haunted season had arrived in Antler Wood. The sky grayed, the leaves blushed red, and mist coiled through the trees like something alive. Even the pumpkins began to rot and show their true faces. On these chilled autumn nights, it was best for fox kits to remain near their den on the edge of the wood. There they could feast on apples that tumbled from high branches. They could hunt for smoky acorns and crunchy stick bugs and juicy mice. And when dusk turned to starlight, the kits could return to their den and tuck under their mother's fur and be soothed by her heartbeat. "Tell us a story," the alpha kid said one misty night. "Make it scary," the fourth said, yipping and hopping. "Yeah," said the third, snarling so scary our eyes fall out of our heads. "Please stop biting my face, children," their mother said. The kits behaved themselves while she smoothed out their bed for the night. "Let's see," she said. "How about Rattlebones?" "Mom," the beta said, rolling her eyes, "you told us that story when we were 2 weeks," said the alpha. "It's boring," said the fourth. Very well. Their mom began ripping out roots that had snuck through the den's walls. "How about Willoughby Wallaby and the floating paw?" "Seriously," the fifth kid said. "That story wouldn't raise the hackles on a field mice," said the fourth. It's kid stuff, said the third. Well, their mom said, those are the stories that I know. 7 little foxes sighed. Sorry to be a disappointment, their mom said, lying down. She paused and looked at the kits with all seriousness. But you must promise that no matter what you do tonight, you will not go to Bog Cavern. The kits' ears perked. What's Bog Cavern? The Alpha asked. That's where the old storyteller lives, their mom said. If you go there, you'll hear a story so frightening it will put the white in your tail. The kits stared at their thin, dusty brown tails with wide eyes. Wait a second, the four said, looking at the fluffy white end of their mom's tail. You heard the story? Only part, she answered, and I wouldn't repeat what I heard for 1,000 mice. The kits gave one another meaningful looks. They didn't want some toothless story like Willoughby Wallaby, which could be forgotten with a shiver and some milk and a lick on the cheek. They wanted a story so scary it would prove their bravery and change them forever. All except the little one, that was. She preferred the sound of her mother's heartbeat. Yes, it may have been wise for fox kits to stay close to the den once the leaves began to fall. But the fog and the frost and the old crimson moon had stirred something in their whiskers, and so they waited till all was quiet, save their mother snoozing, and then 7 little foxes slipped out of their den with a mission to scare some white into their tails. 7 kits snuck into the night, over the log, around the stone, across the creek, and through the grass deep into the antler wood. The trees threw up their limbs as if to frighten them away. The little ones slowed at their warning. Come on, Sticky Paws, the beta kit whispered. 7 kits crept through the wood, beneath the bone-white branches, past the broken trap, beyond the cave of snoring, over the human bones, to the entrance of Bog Cavern. Roots dripped over its mouth. Fog oozed from its throat. The kid squinted into the darkness, but saw nothing but a pile of bones and skin. Is the storyteller dead? The 5th kid whispered. The 4th kid sniffed. Doesn't smell dead. Someone go nose it awake, the 3rd kid said. Don't look at me, said the beta. I like my nose. Shh, said the alpha. The bones stirred, then jerked up so abruptly that every one of the kid's paws left the ground. The little one scurried behind the beta's sister. The bones sat themselves upright, forming a sort of fox silhouette. Eyes flashed green in the darkness. What have we here? The storyteller said with a voice like spilling dust. Grovelers. The beta gave the alpha a nudge. The alpha said, voice cracking, won't you tell us a scary story, please? The storyteller sniffed again. Too young. Come back when you've lost your milk teeth. The fox kits clamped their muzzles shut. The little one hoped this was enough to get her siblings to scurry home. But no one budged. The alpha cleared his throat and delivered the speech he had prepared. We're smart enough to know that stories are as harmless as the wind through the leaves. They cannot pluck our whiskers or break our bones or strip our skins. The silence grew behind the roots, so complete it seemed it could suck the kits into the darkness. Sure of that, are you? The storyteller asked. 7 little foxes tried not to shiver. 2 of them succeeded. All scary stories have 2 sides, the storyteller said, like the bright and dark of the moon. If you're brave enough to listen, and wise enough to stay to the end, the stories can shine a light on the good in the world. They can guide your muzzles. They can help you survive. A cloud slid off the moon, and shadows reared up around the cavern. The antler wood seemed darker now than when there was light. But the storyteller said, if you don't listen closely, if you turn tail from the horror and don't stay till the end, then the darkness of the story can swallow all hope. It can frighten you so deeply you'll never want to leave your den again. You'll waste away the days with your mother, forever smelling like her milk. The wind pawed at the leaves. The moon shined on the gray fur of the storyteller's face. So, do you still want to hear a scary story? 7 little foxes gulped. Only the alpha nodded. Come closer then, the storyteller said, and we'll see which of you makes it to the end. The alpha marched forward. The third hesitated a moment and then followed. Then came the beta, and the fourth, fifth, and sixth, trembling. The littlest fox gazed back through the antler wood, over the bones, beyond the cave, past the trap, beneath the branches, through the grass, across the creek, around the stone, over the log, toward home. She breathed deep and padded close to the cavern with her siblings. 7 little foxes sat and listened. Our story begins, the storyteller said, in the evening wood. This is a collection of stories. There are several stories that are all related scary stories for little foxes. These are the 2 main characters, Mia and Uli. And I will continue the story. I will finish reading it for you. Tonight, we only have a little time, so I'm going to read you one scary story. Okay.
Those were quite frightening tales, Miss Melissa.
Ooh, I hope so. I hope so. That is the idea. I hope everyone.
I think in order for us,
what is that?
I think in order for us to get a good night's sleep, we might need to watch a video of our costume contest. Do we want to see some costumes from our students over at Corrales Elementary?
Okay.
Let's take a look.
Beautiful.
Let's see if I can share our screen and show our video. Those were some great and scary and cute and spooky costumes that everybody was wearing. I'm excited that we were still able to dress up for Halloween, even if we have to remain socially distant from each other. Miss Melissa, did you have any other scary stories to add, or shall I announce the winners of the pumpkin decorating contest?
Go ahead and announce the winners. We can't wait for that. That's super fun. And then I do have one more poem at the end.
Oh, excellent. So our winners for the craziest pumpkins designed and decorated by students at Corrales. In first place, we have Sugar Rush by Casey Dolan, and I saw that one in the library. It was made with a bunch of candy, and it looked delicious. Second place was Movie Treat by Ana Lucia Torres, both 5th graders. Second place in mixed media was the amazing robot pumpkin designed by our 1st grader, Jeffrey Grady. The carved pumpkin winner was the Ninja Pumpkin, carved by Honesty Jaquez, and she's a 5th grader at Corrales Elementary. The pumpkin that was voted best with a book was Blueberries for Sale with a book basket by Gabriel Cias, who's one of our 5th graders. The scariest pumpkin, the winner for scariest pumpkin, was Help by Trent Yarborough, one of our 5th grade students. And then for most adorable, we had the sparkly purple unicorn in 1st place by Miss Avery Dean. And 2nd place was a tie between Miss Nina Ward's cow pumpkin and Maisie Trujillo's cat pumpkin. And all 3 of these girls were 1st graders. They started off in Pee-wees together at Corrales Elementary, and now they're all 1st graders. It's been great to see them grow and develop their talents. Now for our adult winners, we had some grown-ups enter some pumpkins. We had the craziest pumpkins was a Mask Up Corrales by Edgar Allan, and it was a donation from Corrales' art gallery. I wonder if he's related to Edgar Allan Poe. Mixed media was The Cat in the Hat, Thing 1 and Thing 2 by Miss Sandoval's class. The best adult carved pumpkin was The Nightmare Before Christmas by our counselor, Miss Gabby. The best with a book was Grumpy Monkey by our former librarian, Miss Josephine. The scariest was The Spider by Miss Horcasitas' class. And the most adorable was The Fox Pumpkin by our current librarian and tonight's reader, Miss Melissa. The best in class pumpkin was Where the Wild Things Are by Miss Mann's class. And the best overall was 2020 has been a nightmare before Christmas. And that was conceptualized by Missy Johnson from Mrs. Carper's class.
Love it.
I just want to quickly acknowledge we had over almost 30 children participate in decorating pumpkins this year. And I'm just going to say their names quickly because I feel like they deserve acknowledgement for making such amazing pumpkins. We have Jeffrey, Grace, and Mary Grady, Gabriel Cias, Ana Lucia Torres, Maisie and Eloise Trujillo, Trent Yarborough, Miller Fenlayson, Casey Dolan, Dahlia Chavez, Alexandra Gonzalez, Gianna Cuoco, Honesty Jaquez, Samantha Tafoya, Tommy and Athena Gentry, John V, Lila and Nina Ward, Avery Dean, Kaylee Senna, I left her little owl pumpkin, Ondine and Ellie Fair, Rose and Ruby Black, Jacob Sanchez, Vivian Laughlin, and Giada Laughlin as well. Thank you, friends, so much for designing such amazing pumpkins. They really made our night. We appreciate it. All right, and that was all of my pumpkin announcements. I believe the auction is still open, so you're welcome to go and bid on some of those prize-winning pumpkins. And Miss Melissa, I'll let you read your poem.
Thank you. Oh, friends, the pumpkins were incredible. Congratulations to everyone. They were beautiful and scary and creepy and wonderful. Love seeing all of those pumpkins. Very, very fun. The last poem of the night, The Haunted House. The haunted house is such a scream because tonight is Halloween. The creaking door is open wide, and so we slowly peek inside. We tiptoe and hold our breath because we're really scared to death. 2 mummies greet us at the door, or maybe 3, or was it 4? They lead us to the living room through smoky clouds of dewy doom, then down a hall where spiders spin 3 giant webs to catch us in. Lost among the mournful maze, we wander through this haunted haze. We climb some stairs into a place where eyes float by without a face. And then a witch with eyes aglow grabs us as we start to go. She holds us back, and with a shout, I've got you now. There's no way out. We hear our hearts pound in our ears while fighting back a flood of tears. We break away and then we hide and wish we had stayed outside. And then suddenly across the floor, a flash of light leads to a door. A pumpkin shines its candle light and points the way back to the night. Then once outside, we start to grin because now we want to go back. Thank you for coming to Scary Stories tonight and for welcoming me. I hope you have a wonderful, happy Halloween.
We had another amazing Scary Stories night tonight. Thank you, Miss Melissa, for scaring us just enough. Tomorrow night, if you are ready to be terrified out of your pajamas, stay tuned. We'll have Coach Dolan telling her scariest stories of all time tomorrow night at 7:00 live on our YouTube channel. I don't even know if I will be able to sit through her scary stories. They're terrible.
I can't wait. Friends, I will read the rest of Scary Stories for young boxes and post it on the library webpage. Okay.
And you can always rewatch any of our broadcasts over on YouTube as well if you feel like you want to watch Mrs. Ornelas and Miss Josephine, or if you wanted to rewatch Miss Chris telling some not so scary stories. We would love to see more views on our YouTube channel. And with that, I'll send all of you off to brush your teeth. I'm sure we'll be eating lots of candy, so brush them well. Put on some cozy pajamas and read for at least 20 minutes before you go to bed. And we will see you on Google Meet tomorrow morning. Good night.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Miss Liv. Bye, friends. Good night. Sweet dreams.